Hi everyone, it is Beth with Flying by the Seat of My Plants, and I wanted to take the time to put out a special thank you to all the subscribers. I actually hit 500. That's like a milestone, and trust me, I know I need to improve on the videos, but the main goal is just showing people what I do in my garden, starting plants, helping people if they want to, you know, start a plant sale. That's what I do. And gardening, I started gardening, it's been over 30 years now, and every year it gets better. Sometimes not so good. So I do want to share the good, the bad, the ugly. Actually, I have black beauties that I put in my raised bed, and one thing I always preach to everybody is to put eggshells or calcium, tomato tone or something in with your tomatoes. And I forgot to do it over there. And I have 3 black beauty tomato plants in one of my raised beds. And so far, I had one that was ripening up. I got excited, and it had blossom end rot. So I did add some tomato tone. You can correct it. Anyhow, that's what is going on with the black beauties in the raised bed by my fence. But I do have one that is in the in-ground garden, and so far no blossom end rot. Everything in the in-ground, I did add either eggshells, powdered up eggshells for calcium, or I did add the tomato tone. But anyhow, just everything is doing wonderful this year. You know, dealing with the groundhog, so far he hasn't messed up too many things. As far as my Moon and Stars watermelon, I don't know if that's going to come around, but I'm excited this year. I always have a struggle with my zucchini, and I'm starting to get, I picked 2 zucchinis. I got another one growing. So just anything you do in the garden, never give up. I want to show you with my Kajari. Last year I didn't get any Kajari, and so I went ahead and planted it again this year. Another one that didn't do so well last year was the Tripel crop, and now this one is getting loaded with tomatoes, and trying to think of what else. Oh, cucumbers that I thought I planted, the silver slicers, are actually the Marketmore 76. I thought I started silver slicers, but apparently I didn't. The other new plant I started this year, and I'll show you that, is the, it's a dumpling, it's an acorn. The sweet dumpling acorn squash. I got a couple of those going on. My pumpkins are doing fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you a few things going on. The other, I did buy some sunflower seeds from Sunflower Steve. And I don't know, I just feel like I got ordinary sunflowers. They're not all bloomed yet. So I don't know. Hopefully I have some really cool sunflowers from that seed packet. It was a Van Gogh, and hopefully I could share those with you. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and turn this around. I'm going to show you my pumpkins, my cucumbers, and the things that are doing really well in the garden. Okay, here are the sugar pie pumpkin, and these are on the arches. I absolutely love these arches. There's another pumpkin there, another one starting there, and of course these up here. And these are pretty strong. The stems are pretty strong, and sugar pie doesn't get really big. I don't know, I might support it, but I actually think it's strong enough to hold itself up there. There's another pumpkin. Trying to see if there's any more. And this year I only did 2 sugar pie pumpkins. I tried leaving room for the Stars and Moon, but the groundhog got to it. It's still growing. This one has recovered a little bit. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I'm going to do it again next year. I'm not giving up on that. And then here here is the Tripel crop, and these are doing wonderful. And then I do have some of my cherry tomatoes in here. This is on the other side of the arch, where the pumpkins are on one side, and then I got some of these tomatoes on the other. There is a small zucchini growing there that makes me excited. Oh, there's two of them in there. And then here's the cucumbers. Now this is on the middle arch, and reaching all the way up. And I also have the Marketmore 76 on the other side. Both sides are Marketmore 76. And I just love how it grows on the trellis. These are finally starting to climb up more. But yeah, these are just gorgeous. And I highly recommend growing your cucumbers on a trellis. They do so much better. There's another one there. And keep picking them. Don't let them go totally overripe, because that signals to the plant to quit growing and producing. Oh, here's another zucchini. And let's go over here. I have cherry tomatoes in here on this side of the trellis. And on this side, I have my Kajari. And I actually have my first Kajari melon. I'm excited about that. I'm not sure how many I'm going to get. Oh, there's another one down here. Looks like another one forming here. I grew these last year and did not get any Kajari melons whatsoever. So I went ahead and did it again this year, and this year I'm getting Kajari. So that's why it's so important. I mean, if you're especially first-time gardener and you have some things that have failed, learn by what, went wrong, and then try it again. And the problem last year with my Kajari is I did not amend the soil in the raised beds, and definitely made a difference. This year I amended really well. I used mushroom compost and fertilized through the growing season, and I have Kajari melon. So the whole thing is just learn every year. Just keep adding, keep track of what's going on, what's wrong, what you did right, and sometimes it's the weather and it's beyond your control. So, but things that are in your control, there's a yellow squash in there. And here is the in-ground where all my tomatoes are. A lot of canning tomatoes over here. Some are starting to turn red. And I do freeze my tomatoes until I get enough to can. And some tomatoes here. Here is my butternut, or it's either honey nut or butternut squash, which is just spreading all over in the garden. This is my second year trying okra, and totally failed last year. So I planted 2 plants in the in-ground, and it's doing wonderful. Still babying the giant Belgium tomato. I got a lot of tomatoes on there. They're just not really getting of size. So I went ahead and I've been starting to use the fish fertilizer to see if that helps. And anyhow, everything is looking beautiful. This one is just actually coming out of the garden. There's a squash right there. And let's see what else. I don't know if you can see this, but there is one huge cobweb right in the middle here. So I have to remember to move that so I don't walk through it. I don't know if you could see it. Okay, I did move it. I'm sure it'll come back again, but anyhow, there's some Cubanelle peppers in there, doing wonderful. And here is another, these are the patty pans. And let me see if I can find a patty pan in here. I did see one in here somewhere. Oh, there's one down there. Those are delicious. Let's go through here. And some more peppers back here. Sunflower in the middle there. Here is my corn. And I'm actually getting some ears and quite a bit. So I'm going to wait a bit, but I think I'm going to try and brush some of the pollen from the tassels. Not right now, until they get more mature, I'm thinking. I don't know. Corn growers out there, tell me. I want to make sure that the ears of corn get pollinated fully. Oh, look at that. First year, well, this is actually my second attempt. The very first time I ever tried to grow corn, I got nothing. Oh, there's a bee on there. So, very excited about that. Peppers. Still waiting on the Sugar Rush Peach. Over here, these are all potatoes in grow bags, so they are doing wonderful. You want to make sure you keep watering those. They like water, and they will soon be getting their flowers. When the flowers die back, that's when you know it's time to harvest. And here's some of the San Marzanos starting to turn red. Oh, and there is, that's a black strawberry. It's a beautiful, beautiful tomato. A little bigger than a cherry tomato. A lot of people, you know, are not impressed by the taste. It tastes good, but it's beautiful too. Nothing like the Sungold. The Sungolds are like eating candy. And over on this side I have Queen of the Night. These are not getting as much sun. They're getting at least 6 hours of sun, but the sun is not hitting the tomatoes as much, so they're not as dark as they could be. Next year I'm going to make a note that I'm going to put these in the in-ground. This way they're going to get a nice good long sun hitting them so that they turn that really beautiful dark color. So here's corn on this side. Everything looks beautiful. There's another okra that I planted. I put these in here last year. They did nothing. This one is struggling. But this is in the flower bed. But it was an open area, so I put it in there. And my gladiolus is starting to bloom. And so far, no monarchs. And these, I did not plant. The birds dropped the seeds for me, which I think is gorgeous. And here's a tip about growing hanging flowers. Every year about this time, usually my hanging pots are dead. And one thing I have learned definitely is don't overwater them, meaning when you water these, don't wait until it starts pouring out of the bottom every time that you water, which I did, and I was basically rotting the roots. So now I just water them, you know, not drenching it to where the water's pouring out of the bottom of the pot, and fertilizing. Probably you can fertilize them at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. And I use Miracle-Gro with the fertilizing with these flowers, and this year they're doing great. They're not dead. They're all still alive. Here's some of the beautiful zinnias, which I plant every year. I absolutely love them, and the birds love them. And these, you just want to deadhead these, meaning, well, kind of pruning. So I'd show you on one that's spent, but I think I already pruned those out. But when you do that, like this, when this one gets spent, just follow it down, and you can see these two new ones, two side shoots. There's one over here, one over here. So you're going to cut all the way down to there, and then this will force more buds. Some more zinnias. It's kind of bright out here, so I know it's getting, ooh, look at that one. And I went ahead and I did prune some, but I'm going to come back out and do it again. So here's this pink one when this one is done, or if I just want to pick it to put in a vase, here are these side shoots. So I'm going to cut it right here, and that will force these to bloom. And you'll keep getting more and more zinnias, because they will always have the side shoots. There's calendula. And some more eggplant. This year, the garden's doing wonderful. Okay, here is a sweet dumpling. It's already getting hot out, and, you know, if your leaves look like that, that's normal. That's just them reacting to the heat. But look, you can see these. That's a sweet dumpling. There's another one. There's a couple down here. I'm really excited about it. There's another one over here. And so far, knock on wood, the groundhog has not bothered it. So here are the black beauties. So there's one still on here. The other ones, a lot of them had the dry rot. I just threw them back there. I don't know if you could see that. But anyhow, thought about maybe just taking these up. Because I'm not going to get very many more tomatoes from them. And using this bed, I want to start for my winter sowing, the fall garden. So I'm going to start some beets. And I have another empty bed down here, which I want to put my carrots in. So when I do that, I will go ahead and show you how I'm doing that. And I also want to start Brussels sprouts. That's another thing I struggle with, is Brussels sprouts. Here is my onion bed. It's alright. I got these started late. I gotta cut this back. I don't know what it is, but I gotta look it up. It's binding into my garden. But anyhow, that's in this bed. They are not doing well. I mean, I'm getting some bulbs, so that makes me happy. So the good news is I also put the overflow of onions in this bed, which they are doing good. Very healthy. And some more over here. And then here's my Swiss chard, which I'm going to be cutting. I like Swiss chard with potatoes. I make a really good dish using potatoes. And also in my eggs. You could saute it. But anyhow, I want to get more growth, so I got to start cutting this back and using it. And so here are some of my hanging pots, still alive and doing well. There's that one over there. Let me get closer. And typically by now these baskets would be dead, but like I said, I'm not over-watering. I'm not saturating the pot. I do water daily, because right now we got the heat going on. And this one down here, same thing. But I'm excited. They're still doing well, and we're almost in August. Here's my fig tree, Chicago fig. Still nothing. This is my second year with it, so I don't know if I'm going to get any fruit. But anyhow, it's a beautiful plant. Hopefully I will get some fruit, but I don't know if I will or not. Hey, you know what? I did a video yesterday, totally forgot. I did not add any cilantro to my salsa. It's still tastes great. But anyhow, you can add cilantro to it. Here is some more Swiss chard. Okay, so that's about it. Just wanted to share some of that. I do have basil growing, which I did buy that sliced mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to, can I back this up more? There. Basil, I'm going to slice up tomatoes. I have that fresh mozzarella cheese in slices. So I will be slicing that, putting the basil on there, and then I get the balsamic glaze and drizzle that on top, and it is so good. So anyhow, guys, that's about it. Oh, here's one more hanging basket. Let me show you that real quick. And that's still doing wonderful. I absolutely love it. So I wanted to point that out to you. Going into August, and my hanging pots are still doing well. Okay, so I just wanted to share that stuff with you. It's absolutely gorgeous. I am going to be starting some seeds, the carrots. I'll bring you along when I do that. And also the beets. And then I did buy some potting mix because I want to start some other plants for the fall garden. And the Brussels sprouts, I'm going to start in a little container and then transplant them. And I might actually start some cabbage. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think I might do a couple cabbage just to have that for in the winter or in the fall. Make some cabbage rolls or something like that. So anyhow, I just wanted to get on here, show you that what was going on in the garden. Abby, hang on. Hang on. So anyhow, I just wanted to say thank you to all the subscribers. Yeah, I hit 500, so it was pretty exciting to me. And, you know, welcome back to everybody that's been following the channel. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you that leave comments, ask questions. That really does help the channel. I know I have a lot of improving to do, and I did have one person to me in a not so nice manner tell me how much I need to improve. So I love listening to advice, but do it in a nice way, right? So anyhow, I guess that's about it. So the next video I'm going to do is starting some fall seeds, and I'll share that with you, and I'll just keep sharing what's going on in the garden. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful garden season. And the most important thing is we learn every year. I don't care how long we've been gardening or haven't been gardening. Take notes, you know, on what works and what doesn't work. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you on the next one. All right, bye.